What's up, my beautiful people? It's your host, Positive Gaming, and welcome to the Positive Gaming Show. Positivity and gaming come together as one. Today we have two topics. The first topic, we're going to be discussing my next move. So I'm going to be explaining to you what's my next move with the podcast, with my YouTube videos and stuff like that. And my second topic, I said video. My second topic, I'm going to be discussing the things that I learned from last year. So basically, I'm going to be explaining to you what I learned from last year and my mistakes from last year, and I'm going to be explaining how I made that transition to fucking up and making mistakes to learning from them and being better as I go for the future. So first topic, my next move. The reason why I say it's my next move is because it's something I wanted to do for a while. I want to do radio. I really want to do radio. I really love what I do now. I love doing radio. I really do. I love doing my podcast every single chance I get. I love talking about video games. I love discussing video games. I love talking about positivity and different topics and stuff. And I want to do it as a career. I want to make something out of it. I want to build something. So, and I look up to certain radio hosts like Charlamagne the God, Black Girl Experience, aka Jasmine Danielle, Steve Harvey, Sway in the Morning. I look up to these radio hosts, and I'm not trying to be like them, because I don't want to be like them. I want to be like me. But the only reason why I look up to them, because they motivate me to do better, to keep on striving, to keep on consistently uploading episode after episode after episode. Because I'm not a quitter. I don't want to quit, but I want to make a career out of this. I want to build something. I want to make sure that I'm good in the future, because you always have to think long term instead of short term, because that's what people mistakenly do. They think about the moment now, but at the same time there's people out there that's going to think about the future. So you could think about the moment now. You probably have a number one video on YouTube right now, you're popping, and then at the same time you could have a number one video on YouTube or the number one podcast on the air, but at the same time, are you thinking about the future? You got to think about that. So my moves, I'm planning on I'm gonna keep on consistently. I'm gonna keep on uploading episode after episode. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep on uploading every chance I get, because I love doing this. I want to make a career out of it. I want to keep on striving to be better for myself. I'm not in a competition with nobody. I'm only in a competition with myself. I want to get better for myself and do better for myself. That's the only thing for me and me only. That's it. The second topic I want to discuss is the things that I learned from my past. I said last year, but I want to talk about my past, the things I went through, and how I learned how to appreciate certain things. So I want to tell you about one situation I was dealing with. I dealt with, and I want to tell you about a situation I dealt with, and that helped me realize that life is really important and how you should not waste your life. So this is when I first joined Anchor. This didn't happen right after I joined Anchor. This happened 2 days or 4 days after. This was around Christmas time, so I think this was around the day, 2 days after Christmas. So I remember one day I went shopping, and I went shopping, and then I got robbed. And while I was getting robbed, I was trying to get my money back, because I had $15 at the time, and he robbed me for my $15, and I was trying to get it back, and he pushed me, and then I don't know if he was lifting up his pants or he was lifting up, I don't know what he was doing, but he showed me something. I don't know if he was lifting up his pants or whatever, but I got robbed, and I will always think about that moment. I would be like, well, if I would have went after him, if I would have still tried to get my money back, I would have lost my life. And then I kept on thinking about that day, because when you go through a situation like that, you're not gonna forget that day. It doesn't matter what you put in front of it to make it go away. You're still gonna remember that moment, because it's something traumatic. It's like a scary moment. You're always gonna have that inside your head, in the back of your mind. So when I got robbed that day, I was pissed off. I was crying. I was upset, and it helped me learn. It helped me appreciate life, because in my past life, there's been times when I wanted to commit suicide. There's been times when I wanted to end my own life, and I never really appreciate life. And after that situation, when I got robbed, I started appreciating life more, because imagine if I would have kept on trying to get my money back. It's only $15, and then the crazy thing about it, the same day I got $20. And I didn't really. It's like with me, sometimes you're gonna have to learn how to some things. You're gonna have to realize that certain things are not worth it, and certain things are. So imagine if I was still fighting to get my money back, I would have probably got killed that day. And then my mom would have lost her only son, and my grandma would have lost her only grandson. So it's like, sometimes you have to think about it like this. Some things are not worth it, because this ain't the first time I've been robbed. I've been robbed before. This is my second time, third time. I've been robbed for a leather jacket before, and it's like, sometimes I learned how to not care about certain things, because you only have one life, and then sometimes you have to really think about it like this. You only have one life, and certain things are not worth it, and certain things are. So when I got robbed, I was like, alright, he stole $15 from me. It's whatever. But at the same time, I always thought about it, because it was like, okay, it's something I can't get out of my head. And after I got robbed, I was scared to go outside. I was scared to go out. It'd be days when I would be staying home for weeks, for days, for months. And I was just scared, because it's like, because I'm not used to getting robbed. It's like, what? This is my what? Not even my first. Was it was it? No, it was my when I got robbed that day. That was my first time, and then it was something I wasn't used to, and I feel like anyone that's listening to this, or anyone in the world, when if you got robbed the first time, you would probably be scared too, because it's like you have all these emotions flowing inside you. You have fear, you have doubt, you have worries, because you never know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen if you get robbed. You can get killed, you can get shot. You never know. So after that moment, that day, I started appreciating life really more, because it's like, there's been times where I was like, oh, I wanted to commit suicide because I was depressed. And it was like, if I would have done that, what am I doing to the people that I'm leaving behind? What I'm doing, how will my mom feel? How will my grandma feel? How will the people that care about me feel? And it's like, sometimes you really have to think about it like that. You really have to think about how you're gonna affect the people that really care about you. You got to think about that sometimes. You really have to. So that day really kind of changed my mindset of life in general, because I learned, because now I start appreciating life more. I start appreciating little things more. Sometimes, there be times where I'll just hit someone up and just say, oh, I'm just checking up on you to see if you're good or not, because I never done that before. I never really used to check up on people to be like, oh, you good, bro? You good? I'm just checking up on you, stuff like that. I care about you. And then, there be certain people, some people will appreciate it and some people won't. And I will get mad, but at the same time, it's like, it's like, you know what? It's whatever. I just wanted to do something nice. I just wanted to see if you good. And then certain people, is just like, some people don't understand that you got one life. You can't waste it. And that's why people say YOLO. You only have one life. That's why that saying is around. YOLO. You only have one life. That's what it means. So basically, when people are doing these crazy things that they never done before, I understand why, because tomorrow is not promised. Anything can happen. So today can be your last day, God forbid, but today can be your last day, tomorrow can be your last day. And it's like, it's really, you really have to appreciate life, because when I was younger, I used to hang around the wrong crowd sometimes. I used to hang around bad people, and I never really thought about it in that way. There'll be times where I'll hang around people that will just like bully me or talk about me in a negative way, or just talk down to me, or just make me feel less about myself, and I'll still be friends with them because I'll be afraid to cut ties with them and be alone. And when you're younger, you don't really care because you're younger. You don't really pay no mind to it. But when you get older and you start thinking about it more, you start realizing that, well, I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm like worth and stuff like that. So it's like when people start treating you that type of way, and you start making that decision. Well, I gotta cut ties with you because the way you're treating me is not the way I should be treated. So I'm gonna have to cut communications with you. I'm gonna have to cut ties with you. And then with me, when I started doing that, when I started cutting ties with people, it was lonely. It was like there was moments when I was alone because most of the people that I would call friends would talk negative about me and stuff like that. And it's like, I'd rather be alone than to have fake company. And it's like, sometimes you really have to think about that, because if you really respect yourself, you would not care if you're alone, because certain people will treat you any type of way, and then you just like let them get away with it, and just you'll still be friends with them and just let them say whatever they want. And it's like, no, you really have to respect yourself. You really have to have self-respect for yourself. You cannot let people treat you any type of way or talk to you any type of way, because no, that's not how you should live your life. That's not the best way you should live your life, so it's like, you really have to like think about that, and I don't have much people in my life now, but at the same time, I'm happy. Like, I don't really have negative energy around me. I don't really allow anyone to talk to me or treat me any type of way, because if you do, that's when people do whatever they want, and they think, like, because people think they can do whatever they want to you because you allowed them to. You can't let them do that, and it's like, you really have to take that time and tell yourself, are these people that I call my friends really my friends, or are they just, and I've been friends with people that took advantage of me, used me, bullied me, and it's like, I cut all communications with them. And yes, did I miss them? Was I sad about it? Yes. But at the same time, I had to do what I had to do. I had to do that, because you cannot let people affect your life like that. You can't, but you really have to look at life like it's a prize, because life is a gift, and it's like, you can't really waste it, because because you don't know where life is going to take you. You don't know. And life could take you straight, it could take you backwards, it could take you left, it could take you right. You don't know where life is going to take you. But you have the choice. You have the choice to pick your path. You have the choice to choose your faith. So when you choose the wrong path, you're going to see the consequences. When you hang around bad people, you're going to see the consequences. You're going to see the wrong choices. You're going to see the consequences of hanging around those wrong type of people, the bad type of people. You're going to see that type of situation you're going to end up being in if you hang around bad type of wrong type of people. You know, when you hang around good type of people, you're gonna see the positive impact that's gonna bring into your life. When you hang around bad type of people, you're gonna see the negative side of it. You know, it's like you have to really think about it like that. You really have to be careful on who you hang around with. You gotta make sure you hang around good people, not bad people. It's like you really have to cherish. You really have to like think about life as like it's like something special. And you probably do, you probably don't, but at the same time, you can't waste your life doing stupid shit all the time. You know, because it's not really worth it. It's not. You know, and with me, I learned a lot from my past because I did stupid shit. I made mistakes. I wish I could take back, but I can't because I already made them. I already made these mistakes. I don't have a time machine where I can go inside the time machine, go back to the days I made those mistakes and stop myself and everything will be good in the future. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So I made those mistakes. I'm confessing to them and I'm learning from them. And I'm making sure that I don't make those mistakes again. When you make a mistake and you learn from your mistake and you're showing improvement, you're good. You don't have to prove shit to anyone else. And that's the thing that's something else I want to talk about. When people start judging you or start like, let me see. When people start judging you or start like talking down to you or start like talking about you in a negative way, saying, "Oh, that you're this, you're that, blah blah blah." Why are you listening to them? You don't have to prove shit to them. You don't have to prove shit to anyone else. You have to prove shit to yourself. You have to prove it to yourself, because if you're not making that change, then what are you trying to prove? You know, it's like if people see that you're making a change, they're gonna see it. But stop trying to prove everything to everyone else. Like, stop trying to do that, because the more you do that, the more you're gonna be wasting your time. And that's what people do. They waste their life by they waste their only life by trying to prove stuff to people. Stop trying to prove anything to anyone. It's not worth it. It's really not. Because what are you proving to someone? Oh, you're proving that you can be the best at this, you can be the best at that. No, stop trying to prove that to someone. People are gonna see when you don't care what you don't like. Stop trying to prove that. Stop trying to do that to yourself. Stop doing that. Because if you really care what people think, then you will really prove it to them. But at the same time, if you don't care what they think, they will, like, certain people are watching you, right? Certain people are watching you. Some people are going to watch what you do. Some people are going to watch what you say and stuff like that. And then they notice that you fucked up in the past, but you are changing every single day. They're going to notice that. And they're going to be like, wow, he is really changing. Stop trying to prove yourself and just do what you're doing. Stop worrying about what that person said about you. Stop worrying about just stop worrying about it. Because the more you worry about what other people think, you're going to be wasting your life trying to, like, get people's approval. And that's something else I want to talk about. Stop trying to get everyone's approval for everything you do. Stop doing that to yourself, because you're wasting time by doing that every single day. Stop doing that. Stop trying to get approval from this person, from that person, from this person. Stop trying to impress some girl that you like. If she does not like you because of you, then she's not the one for you. Stop trying to be with someone that's not worth shit. Because most of the time, girls will go for pieces of shit instead of a nice person. You know, it's like, stop trying to please everyone you meet in your life. Just stop doing that. You know? And you really have to just think about it. You really have to think about the choices you make. You have to think about the people you hang around. Because one wrong decision, you could fuck up your life. One bad move, life is over. You really have to really think about life. You really have to think about the choices you make and the life and the path you're going. Because if you hang around the bad, if you head down towards the bad path, you're going to see the consequences later on. You're really going to see the consequences. So the bad choices you make, the more consequences you're going to get in the future. So think about that. There's this book called Blank that I want to talk about. So in the front it says, a real pleasure blank blends with surprise insights about our world and ourselves. The number one national bestseller, Blank, by the author of Talking to Strangers, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking, by Malcolm Gladwell. So basically, I want to read the back too. So in the tipping point, Malcolm Gladwell refined how we understand the world around us in Blank, how the way we understand the world within. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So basically, this book kind of confused the shit out of me in a way, because you probably might think about something, right? And you probably might think to yourself, you understand it, but do you really understand it? Do we really understand why certain people do certain things? Or do we just think to ourselves, oh, we do understand it, but we just are too quick to judge, or we just too quick to criticize? Sometimes you have to really think about something. You really have to take the time and be like, do I really understand this? Or do I have to take the time to be like, well, sometimes you just have to sit back and just analyze stuff instead of just going head in and just be like, well, I know what to do. I know this. No. Sometimes you have to just sit back and be like, now I see where they're coming from. I see why they're doing this. I see why they're doing that. You have to really think about certain things. You can't just be too quick to criticize what certain people do or what certain people say. You have to think and be like, I understand his reason. I understand why he said that. I understand why he did that. You got to think about that. But do I have any more topics I wanted to talk about? Not really. I just wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to talk about the things that I learned in the past. I learned how to appreciate life more, because when I was younger, I never really appreciated life. I was that, I wanted to end my own life when I was younger, because I was depressed. And to me, I felt like I could have, because imagine if I did. My mom would have lost her only son, and my grandma would have lost her only grandson. So you gotta really think about it like that. If I would have done what I did, they would have lost me. And how would they feel after I'm gone? How would that affect them? How would that impact them? How would that mindset, how can I say this? How is it that, after I'm gone, how are they doing after I'm gone? How is that affecting them after I'm gone? Because you have to think about it like that. And I know, depression is the most powerful thing ever. It can really fuck you up. But at the same time, that's why we have help centers. We have numbers we can call. We have people we could talk to. Because you only have one life. And then with me, when I was dealing with that depression, I felt like I had no one. I felt like I didn't really matter. It was like, what's the point of me even trying? Fuck this world, fuck this life. I'm just done, And you really have to understand that you only have one life. And that's why I read all these books, and I started reading more, because after, the thing about me is, when I started reading more books, because I used to spend my money on video games every time I get money, I'll spend it on video games. I'll buy every game. I'll buy every new game that came out, right? And then when I started investing into books, I started changing my mindset. I started reading these books. It started changing my mind. It started fucking me up in the head, because I opened my mind to these books, and it helped me understand life more, and it helped me become the person I am today. And I'm really glad that I invest into these books, because if I didn't invest into these books, I would not become the man I am now. And I'm really happy that I did, because when you read books, books will really help you understand life more. That's my opinion. That's really my opinion, you know. But that's all I have for today. I will probably do another a podcast episode on YouTube. Just stay tuned for that. But until then, hope everyone has a beautiful day, and peace.